sorry, the roaming, the Wi-Fi has been disconnected, and now we are back for the second part. So we will end up the meditation. So basically, you just massage your shoulder, your arms, your back, and your thigh, your legs. You know, that's kind of a, before you come down from your seat, you know, making sure that all your body's, the sensation, the feeling is not numb. Okay, so, okay. Well, today I have sort of the interview news about that the family who lost their husband, you know, the wife lost the husband, or the people lost their brothers. And, indeed, they are all quite very young, like 30s and 40s. And I was thinking about, you know, what we're going to say to these people. You know, when we have the people surround us, encounter with the death. Of course, the first one, we always would like to remind dying people, and also always, you know, because when the body declining, and frankly, it's not going to be left, you know, in this world. So the consciousness is very important. And so at the time when dying people, we should remind them about their good karma. So when we go to visit patient, always, you know, mention about the good memory, what kind of good thing they have done, and their contribution to the family. You know, that will be really help out with the dead people, dying people, the consciousness. So remind them the good karma, the good things, the good words they say, you know, they have done to the family. And secondly, that of course you know, it has been saying like when we encounter someone pass away, we should not suppress the emotion. You know, in Buddhism, it shows that when the Buddha passed away, only those enlightened ones kind of attend arahantship. The disciple will not shade the tears. There was a tradition that in Buddhism don't want to see the emotion. And of course, some people think, okay, if you are monks and nuns, if you cried, then that means you have not attained enlightenment. But indeed, many of us, we haven't attained enlightenment. That's true. I think it's really depend on the individual. You know, before I came back to United States at the end of February, and one of my old friends, nun too, she passed away. She died of cancer. And so I went to, not really the funeral, but one of the function for her. So when I get there, I feel like, immediately I feel like I can, you know. So I was sitting there and close my eyes, say to her that, thank her for being my friends. It's at that time, I was just became a nun, like a novice, and I really thanked that for her help. And I was doing kind of a semi-meditation and talk to her. And usually, what in Buddhism, what we did is a kind of a circumambulate. You can circumambulate the coffin or the tomb or the what we call the nameplate, kind of walking circumambulate at least 3 times, or sometimes you can up to 7 times. This is the custom in Buddhism, that if there was a stupa or goda, okay, stupa, and then you basically kind of a circumambulate 3 circles 3 times, and then in your mind you recite their name, talking to them. Usually we recite the Buddhas. That's the way we express our gratitude and our respect. And so I think that let the family member somehow kind of talk to the deceased. Right now it's some people share very painful that when the loved one died, they are not able to be with them in the hospital or even attend their funeral. At this moment, I would like to share that at this moment, the physical contact is not the most important, or the physical is not the most important. The most important will be our mind. Okay, the thought, we call mind to mind. The thought, you say the energy, kind of a terapsych. You talk to the people, and they will receive it. So because sometimes we need to be beyond material. When you have the good thought, and that's why we're doing prayer. We send the good thought. And so for the family, it's really good to share, what the deceased has done the good things for family. Because we all know that everyone will die. Everyone, it's inevitable. Everyone will die. It just, either sooner or later. But frankly, many people don't want to kind of face this reality. When Buddhism talk about, yes, everybody will die, it doesn't mean, okay, you should ignore, the lifetime. No, you should cherish. So that's why we want to say that when we all get together, we should cherish the time, the condition when we get together. But if the condition is no longer there, left, they die, then you should what? You should put it down and detached from that kind of affection. But ordinary people, or people doing what we call the upside in the Heart Sutra, say upside down thinking, just reverse. Well, when we get together, we fight. We don't like to each other. But he or she left or passed away, then we feel regret. That is not the right way. The right way is you cherish the time together, enjoy it, and be grateful. But if the time coming, then you just have to be, detached, let it go, and just think about, thank you. We have that certain time, the many years, the memory will create a good memory. So, and detachment will be the good attitude to deal with human relationship. So this I feel when I saw that today on the news, and I believe that this happened to many families right now. It's thousands of families in the United States. They, lost someone they love, their family, and but remember, we need to be mentally healthy as well to help other people. Okay. So as I put in the kind of a syllabus that today we're going to continue another 5 ways to stop the distracted mind. And yesterday about, the first 3 methods is to deal with hatred and ignorance. That deal with something we like and become so attached. So that's why we contemplate on the impermanence or the impurity of the body. I know that some people, Buddhism tend to be very pessimistic or negative on the body. Well, I have to say that for relationship, I have to say that Buddhism is neither pessimistic or optimistic. Okay, it's realistic. It's just kind of they has a both sides. Our life has both sides, good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant, beauty and impure. So it's a middle path. So that's why in the Hashtra say, okay, neither pure nor defiled. So we have to see the both sides. And then also to develop the compassion to deal with the hatred. And I find that, it's really good helpful, when we do meditation, especially even you send, the prayer, the compassion prayer, the metta, to people you don't like, or even the people you hated. It's very hard at the beginning, but once when you have done that, you find the first change, something changed in your mind. You will change first, and you find that's the way to kind of mitigate your unpleasant or hatred. And so you will be the one who benefits because you won't get hurt. When we hate someone, we are the first one we got hurt. And the third one we talk about, if you realize everything need to have the condition to make it happen, and that's what we, to deal with the ignorance and lack of the wisdom and insight. And the fourth one is to deal with the destructive mind, and that means the breathing in, breathing out. the anapana we have been talking about, especially at the week. And so here, I don't have to repeat again. The fifth one, there was the fifth method to stop the mind, the distracted mind, that in Theravada tradition, more focus on the four elements of the body. Means the earth, water, fire, and wind. And it's a kind of a focus on the body, four great elements. Like if we talk about the earth, that means your bone, your muscle, your skin, your tendon. That it's a heart, it's cold, it's a heart or cold. It's a gross or subtle, it's a heavy or light. And then kind of raise that awareness. And about water, definitely it's kind of a flowing or stickiness, And the wind, the fire, it means cold and hot. And of course also the wind to kind of circulate, push or maintain, support the life. So that's another, what we have been doing is kind of started to scan the sensation in our body already. And then the more you do it, in the future, that in sometimes in your life, you have to go to attend like a 7 days meditation retreat or 10 days and really put the effort, in the intensive retreat and put the effort and, have either anapana or vippasana, meditation. And the result you get, you will realize it, to see it, the functions in your body, and you will find it's amazing that we don't know about our body. It's a world, but we never look inside, and we never feel, we never see it, function. Okay, so finally, I just want to say, I believe that in Chinese medicine, when they talk about the air, the energy, they find out all of the nerve. It's not, at that time, they are not through the microscope, but through the turn into the inside and through the meditation, what I believe. Well, 8:56 now. And maybe I stop here. Tomorrow we can talk more about, the fifth point, about how to stop the distracted mind. And I'd like to mention again that tomorrow I'm here to sit even before 8 o'clock, maybe, come 10 minutes before or 8 minutes before. So I want to make sure that to avoid the disconnection at the very beginning. But of course today, unfortunately, we also have a certain time to stop. But anyway, I will see you tomorrow night, before the 8 o'clock. And you can join at 8 o'clock as well. Okay. Thank you, good night, and stay safe, stay healthy, and calm and happy too. Good night.